The smell hits before the light changes in something between hot metal and rain that hasn't arrived yet. A smell that has no name in the vocabulary of a normal afternoon, but that the body catalogs immediately as wrong. You're playing left mid. It's the 67th minute. The score is 1-1 and neither team deserves to win, and you know that. And it doesn't matter because you're here and the ball's moving. And for 40 minutes, you haven't thought about anything except the space between you and the striker ahead of you. Then the sky goes the wrong color. Not dark, not gray. Something between green and yellow that you've seen in photographs, but never above your own head. The specific color that meteorologists have a name for and that people who've seen it describe afterward with the same word: wrong. The clouds are stacked in a way that looks deliberate, the kind of formation that doesn't drift. That builds. And somewhere behind the field, past the tree line, you hear the first low roll of something that isn't traffic. Thunder, you count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 seconds, a little over 5 kilometers, far enough that the parents on the sideline glance up and go back to their phones, far enough that the referee, a barrel-chested man in a yellow vest who drove 40 minutes to be here and has been running the clock like a personal vendetta since the first whistle, doesn't raise his hand. Here's what you know that no one else on this field does. The rule is called the 30-30 rule, and you learned it the summer you were 13 from a coach who'd seen someone hit, who told it to you once and never again. The way people say the things they need you to remember. 30 seconds or less between lightning and thunder, you're inside the danger radius. 30 minutes after the last strike before it's safe to return to an open field. You're currently at 18 seconds on a flat municipal pitch with one metal goalpost at each end and 21 other human beings conducting electricity the same way you are. You are the tallest object within 30 meters in any direction, and the storm is not moving away from you. You look at the referee. He is jogging toward the center circle. He blows his whistle. Play on. The ball moves. Someone runs. Someone else calls out for it. You don't move. You run the number again. 18 seconds. The flash was in the tree line east of the field, moving west, moving towards you. The cloud base is lower than it was 10 minutes ago. The storm is descending, which means the distance between where the electricity originates and where it lands is shrinking. This is not a storm that is close. This is a storm that is arriving. There was a morning, the first week of spring, years ago, when your father drove you somewhere and on the way back you passed a golf course. A man was lying flat in the middle of a fairway with his shirt burned off in a pattern that looked like the branches of a tree growing from his shoulder across his chest. 2 people were kneeling next to him. One was on a phone. Your father said lightning before you could ask. You never asked anything else about it. That pattern is called a Lichtenberg figure, the current spreading under the skin. The bolt itself doesn't have to hit you. A strike within 15 meters can push enough ground current through your feet to stop your heart. The golfer lived. Most people don't know that. Most people also don't know that less than 30% of people struck by lightning die immediately. That the majority of open field fatalities are cardiac arrests that would respond to CPR if anyone present knew what they were looking at. You know what you're looking at. You're standing on wet grass in rubber-soled cleats that provide approximately no meaningful insulation. 67 minutes into a game that a man in a yellow vest has decided is more important than the weather. The sky flashes again. You count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 seconds. 3.5 kilometers. It was 18, now it's 11. The game continues around you. The midfielder on the other team cuts right. Someone calls your name. Wide, you're open. And the ordinary muscle memory of the afternoon starts pulling at your legs. The score is still 1-1. The clock is still running. 3.5 kilometers. 3 minutes ago, it was 5. The thunder comes. The parents look up again. One of the dads, the big one with the folding chair who brings the orange slices and never stops talking, says something to the woman next to him. She nods. They look at the sky. They look back at the field. They do nothing because the referee is still running the clock, because the authority figure on this field has made a decision, and in the absence of anything else, people follow authority figures. That's what authority figures are for. And because no one on this sideline has looked at their watch and counted and done the math that tells them the math has already gone wrong. You have. You know what you know, and you know what it costs to say it out loud. The referee's name is Antonio. You know this because he checked in at the table at 7:45 and introduced himself to both coaches, and because he's been refereeing at this club for 11 years, and because everyone in this league knows his name the way you know the name of anyone who controls something you care about. He's 53 years old. He has a whistle on a green lanyard and a yellow card in his breast pocket, and the specific bearing of a man who has never been successfully challenged on his own field. You watched him add 4 minutes of stoppage time last week for a game that finished 4-0 and needed nothing of the kind. You take 3 steps toward the center of the pitch. Antonio, he doesn't look at you. Antonio, we need to stop. He looks at you now. Not with anger, with the particular expression of a man who has heard this before and finished hearing it some time ago. Play on. The gap is under 12 seconds. We're inside the radius. I'm watching the weather. You're not watching the right thing. The gap is 11 seconds and it was 18 seconds 4 minutes ago. It's accelerating. We need to get off the field. He blows his whistle at the midfielder who stopped to watch this. Play on, both of you. Play on. The midfielder looks at you, then at the sky, then he runs. You stand there. Around you, 20 other people in shorts and cleats on an open field with 2 metal goalposts and a low cloud base and an electrical charge building in the atmosphere above you. Your body already registering it as the faint smell of ozone, as the way your hair wants to lift from your scalp, as the feeling that your skin is slightly ahead of your body, slightly outside itself, a feeling that has no name but that your nervous system has been recording this whole time. 2 choices. Walk off this field right now. Go directly to the sideline, to the clubhouse 60 meters away, metal roof but solid walls, better than nothing, and you're out of the kill zone in 45 seconds. Alone. The game continues behind you. 21 other people stay on a wet grass field with lightning at 11 seconds and closing. Antonio radios something in about the abandoned player. Both coaches shake their heads, or stay and make this loud enough that the parents hear it. Loud enough that someone calls the league office. Loud enough that the weight of other people watching forces Antonio's hand. But staying means you're on the field when the next one comes. And the next one is coming. The father with the folding chair and the orange slices. His name is Martin. His son plays right back. Martin has been bringing orange slices to this club for 6 years, and he claps after every play whether it works or not, even when his son loses the ball and looks at the ground. Martin claps anyway. You've never spoken to him directly. You know his name, the way you know the names of people who have been a constant in a place you love for longer than you can account for. Martin is looking at you. The woman next to him is looking at you. Antonio is looking at the ball. The sky flashes. You count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 seconds. 2.5 kilometers. Get off the field. Not quietly. The way you say it when you mean it, when there's no version of this where you're wrong and you know it, when the calculation is done and the math is finished and what's left is just the saying of it in front of everyone who can hear. Get off the field, everyone, right now. The referee turns. Something in his face changes. Not agreement, but the first crack of it. The look of a man who has been certain for 11 years running into a voice that doesn't leave him room to stay certain. I am the referee of this. I don't care. Get off the field. Kids, move. Parents, get to the clubhouse. Everyone move now. There is a moment, less than 2 seconds, the longest moment you've had on this field, or maybe anywhere. Then number 7, the striker, maybe 14 years old, takes 1 step toward the sideline, then another. Then someone's parent stands up. Then they're all moving. Antonio stands in the center circle. He's holding his whistle, looking at the field emptying around him. He doesn't blow it. You're already running. Behind you, cleats on gravel, voices overlapping. Martine's voice specifically, go, 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 to someone you can't see. The sky is the color it shouldn't be. The air smells like something burning that hasn't burned yet. You reach the door, you hold it open. Kids first, then parents. Antonio last, his yellow vest bright in the bad light, not looking at you as he passes. You let the door close. The thunder that follows the next flash arrives in 6 seconds. Then 4. Then the corrugated roof starts to vibrate in a way that is more feeling than sound. And a strike hits somewhere behind you on the field. You don't see it. You feel it come up through the foundation, through the floor, through your feet and your knees, and it stops somewhere in your chest like a door being shut from the inside. The lights flicker. 22 people in a clubhouse that smells like synthetic turf and old coffee stand completely still. Then one of the kids starts crying, the way kids cry when something is over and they're finally allowed to. Antonio is on the bench against the far wall. His yellow vest is on the floor next to him. He has his hands on his knees and he's staring at a spot on the concrete. You don't say anything to him. You don't know what you say. Later, 20 minutes, maybe 30, the storm moved east, the sky went back to being a normal color, everyone's phone came back online. You walk out to the field. The near goalpost has a black mark on it at roughly shoulder height. Not burned through. Marked. The way something gets marked when whatever was coming passed very close and chose, for whatever reason, not to stop. The orange slices are still on the sideline table in a plastic container with the lid on. The referee's whistle is in the center circle. He must have dropped it on the way in, or put it down deliberately. You can't tell from here whether it was one thing or the other. You pick it up. The green lanyard wraps once around your hand. Across the field, a parent calls a child's name. The child calls back. You don't know how Antonio drove home. Whether he was thinking about the moment he kept playing or the moment he walked through a door someone else was holding open. You don't know if he'd tell it differently. You don't know if you were right or if you were lucky or if those are even different things when the math gives you 11 seconds and a metal goalpost and 21 people who don't know what you know. You know what you did. You're still not sure what it makes you that you do it again. And you're less sure what it would make you if you wouldn't.